Well, I'll start with the Beyonce one because that was a funny thing because it just shows how little I know. The Beyonce Tumblr. So this guy who got my, who I'd met at some conference and introduced me to some other guy, and they like mailed me and said, we want to talk about a Tumblr for Beyonce, and I didn't believe him. And I was like, yeah, you're some dude, and
Right.
But I'll go meet with you, sure. But I was like, yeah, this is right. This isn't really Beyonce. And then it turned out to really be Beyonce. Not that I got to meet Beyonce, but I got to meet her whole staff, and they were great. They're like really smart people. We ended up spending several hours talking about ideas and stuff like that. And they're really cool. They got how to do Tumblr, I think, really early on, and did it in a way that other people didn't. And one thing that was very smart and cool about them is that they didn't do it. They never put out a press release or even told anybody what they were doing. They just put it up and trusted that people would find it.
She has a pattern of doing that. I see.
Yeah.
It works out best for her too.
Yeah, no, it was really smart, and so they were great. That was one of the highlights. Tumblr when I started was. I think it was number 10, and we were in Fred Seibert's office, which was among other things where Next New Networks had been and things like that. So we were kind of sharing office space. And actually there were only 8 of us in that office because we had one person in Germany and one person in Richmond, or 2 people in Richmond, Virginia, 7 of us. That was really cool because it was like our meetings where we would go to lunch and that we would talk over how we wanted to do things, and it ran very efficiently because it was such a small thing, even though there were a lot of things you couldn't do because we were so small. And one of the hard things about Tumblr that I think they've kind of solved now, but it was a kind of a tough transition, was to go from being that company that got everything done sitting around a table to probably going from 10 people to 40 people was in some ways harder than anything else, because
that transition is tough.
Well, yeah, then we had to have schedules and meetings and calendars, and you just didn't know it was so much easier to know what was going on before. When I started, I sat next to the guy who did servers and the head designer, and we were all kind of in the same area. And then gradually over time you segment out as you have to do, and the product got better and the more stable, obviously, and that kind of stuff. But it lost, I think, some of the kind of flexibility with it, which is just what has to happen as things go.
As it grows.
Yeah.
Nice.